right, Mike?
Good, Freezer.
Good. Let's get right to it. The decision to bring DeMario back, given some of his off-field issues in the past. How do you go through that decision, and how do you justify
We had him here before. He's been good for us. He's been a good player for us. He's done very well in this league, and he's available. So, yeah, bring him back.
Then regardless of any off-field issues then, or how do you weigh those?
Yeah, the CFL does a damn good job of doing their investigations, right? So not just DeMario, but over the course of time, if our scouting department likes a guy, and there's been something in the past, we submit it to the league, and they say yay or nay, right? So I think every team works with the league in terms of making sure that they protect the brand and all that other stuff. So, as far as we're concerned, everything was dropped, and the league probably went further than that. So.
Okay, so you just trust in what the league does. You don't do a whole lot of your own digging. And
they're pretty thorough.
Yeah.
We would certainly trust them. Not saying there aren't conversations, but I don't know what more you're going to find.
Yeah. And what role does the need play in maybe overlooking?
Need will never trump integrity.
No? Okay.
No.
Because the timing now, you need.
No, never.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
What do you know about the process, the CFL, beyond it being thorough?
It's a good question. I don't know a bunch, but they would, I'm sure, look at the police records or try to gain access to whatever they can gain. I imagine they.
But you don't know. You just, like when you say it's thorough, it's a good program, they do a lot. You can't point to anything, but that it's those adjectives.
That's a good point. Yep.
Yeah. This team we see every day with kids, families. You talk about the importance of being good off the field as well, and I know the charges have been dropped. We also know that in a lot of these cases, charges are dropped, but we also know that his wife said as much, made those allegations, and I'm wondering, while the league does things and while there's a criminal threshold for, I'm wondering if you're worried about the public perception here, about this, the reputation of this team.
I think you know me. I would always be concerned about being in the community and making sure we're good citizens of the community, right? I also believe that if in the court's eyes there's nothing there to go further with, and to the point where, this information is going to be expunged from a record, then I would say that's even one step further than.
Keep hearing that. No one knows that. It's just been written in articles, right?
Sure.
It may have happened. It might be happening.
Through our conversations. So I imagine you can challenge that about anything. But also in this organization, we deal with humans, and we also deal with humans that make mistakes and work hard to be better. So.
And that's how I think of my next question was, I think second chances are important, right? And to a place who does care about off-field, behavior and family and stuff like that, might be the good place for him to be in that sense.
Quite possibly. I would hope so, but all that remains to be seen, right?
I was asking Jason Hogan about those decisions in those final minutes of games. Is it your say? Like, is it a bunch of voices at the end that are talking and do you ever debate things? I'm thinking about time.
Well, we hope we debate things prior to, but
right.
Absolutely, there's conversation on a headset in certain situations. My hope is that I'm ahead of things in terms of the conversation. Sometimes you're not, based on the flow of the game. Sometimes you're well ahead of things based on the flow of the game. Right. But yeah, there's some conversations. The point would be that you do enough in training camp, you do enough scenario preparation, you watch enough film of scenarios that come up in our games and other games, and you discuss them post-game meetings, you discuss them pre-game meetings, and you show all the different things that can happen. We can't possibly have a season where we cover every single thing, where we actually are a part of every single scenario. How many times have we run a kick-out? Right. So we show kick-out film from a game that's 13 years old, right? Because it's the best kick-out film that we have that shows multiple decision-making scenarios in that 7 seconds, right? So we always go back to try and learn from those things. But ultimately, the game management would rest on my shoulders for sure. Absolutely.
So that's what Jason says when he goes, we talk, like, what process you just described, you talk about things as much as possible, situations, you lived experience.
I got something written on my board that Lapo and I talked about from his first year
Right.
on a timing issue and a play calling issue that I've kept. I mean, I don't even know if I can erase it anymore, but it's been sitting there for that long. And it was one of those things, well, here's what I think, and here's what you think, and here's how this plays out. Let's watch these scenarios. Something happens in a season, you cut it, you take the 30 seconds to watch it. You watch the TSN version because the clock's always there and running, and it just, I mean, you just have to keep on building those experiences in, because you can't possibly have them all. You can't possibly make all the mistakes that everybody makes in, 10 seasons, right?
Does your decision-making change by gut? Like, if you're trusting your defense more than your offense that game, you're trusting Sergio's
It's
leg?
not about trust.
No?
No.
Never? Even with a 57-yard, like, you obviously trust Sergio to make those because he makes them.
Well, I trust everybody to make all their plays and execute perfectly. That's
But you would trust Strebler to get a yard and a half before that, right?
sure.
Positive. So, but
Yeah,
you obviously
no,
make a decision
I
based
don't
on
think
trust.
I don't think it's a
Certainly.
matter of I don't trust them. It's a matter of the flow of the game and what's happened so far, where we're at, who's injured, who isn't, who they have up, how's this matchup going to work now. I mean, I just use an expletive, but there's a ton of variables that go into that you got to kind of keep track. So when you say gut, the reality is that is taking in all the information and processing it, right? Having all those experiences, taking 5 bits of information and having your brain process it. It just so happens that you feel it before you can verbalize it, right? That's the truth of it, is you are adding up all those things to make that decision. It's not just, but Sergio's a good choice. He was perfect from over 50, and, for our team, cementing a game is probably a good thing. But certainly never about not trusting another group.
You trusted everyone, you maybe trusted people a bit more.
It's not about even leveling it and how you trust them. You just, you believe it's going to work. Like, every decision you make, you believe is going to work. So maybe that's the fallacy of being a coach, the tragic flaw.
Thanks for doing this, Coach. Was wondering your preliminary scouting report on the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, they're tough. Always tough. They play hard. They compete. All 3 phases. They always compete. Yeah, they're going to prove to be a tough opponent, like most teams we're facing right now.
Obviously, there's no confirmed starter yet, but it looks likely that James Morgan will get the start. I'm wondering, in your opinion, obviously a first-time starter, there's a lot of pressure that goes along with that for a player, not a lot of experience, but playing against a guy making his first career start can have its own challenges. in that he's an unknown
I thought he
entity.
looked good this last game. I thought he executed the offense well. I mean, Jason Moss is going to have him completely prepared. Calvillo, those guys are going to have him completely prepared. And he's had a bunch of different experiences as a pro. He's not a rookie, in my mind, right? So he's there for a reason, because they believe he can help them win football games.
So you feel like you got he played 3 quarters on Saturday, a decent enough sample size to
I don't
to
know
prep
about
for.
that, but I don't know that it matters. You're playing their offense, right? And I'm sure Jay's going to ask him to do everything he can possibly do. I don't think he's going to hold back anything. It looked like he threw the ball to all different places, when he went in relief. Ed,
Mike, how are you?
good.
Do you have a progress report on Peyton Logan and Dalton Schoen?
Yeah, they're both practicing. We'll see where that ends up. I don't know how the roster's going to shake down to see where they end up. I think Dalton probably needs a little more time. But he looked good up there today, running around.
We asked you about Demario, but what about bringing back Russell Dandy too?
Yeah, we always liked the way he competed, like good, strong, hard on the ball, tackler, aggressive, those type of things. Then to camp, shakes out, and you only allowed so many people, and it's unfortunate because we do like the way Russ plays the game. So when you have this need and you have spots you got to fill, and you go to the guys that you know can do things for you, right? And his understanding of what we do is going to be at a higher level than bringing somebody who's never been in here. Thank you.